Welcome inside the High School Huddle. I'm Dave Morris, joined by Ryan Aber, the Oklahoman's knower of all things high school football. And Ryan, the season gets interesting this week. Some big matchups: Weatherford versus McGinnis, Jinx versus Muskogee, Yukon versus Westmore.
Yeah, after a couple slow weeks to start the district schedule, we've got a lot of good matchups this week, including McGinnis travels to Weatherford. Always a tough place to play out there in Weatherford, but I think McGinnis, with their 3 running backs, each one over 100 yards last week, I think that they're going to come out ahead in this one. The other one on the east side, Jinx goes to Muskogee. We've talked about the disconnect between Jinx and Union at the top and every other team in 6A. Muscogee's a pretty clear number 3. They played Union relatively close a couple weeks ago. We'll see how close that they can stay there, but I don't think they've got enough to overtake Jinx.
Ryan, some teams are not struggling at all in district play. For example, Guthrie, they're steamrolling opponents right and left. How hard is it for teams like Guthrie and Aber, who meet later this month, to stay focused in the meantime?
I think it's certainly hard for them to stay focused. Rafe Watkins has a tough job making sure that those players understand that they need to keep focused and keep playing these games where they're just steamrolling people. I think they've scored over 60 their last 3 or 4 games. Carl Albert's a team that had some tests during the non-district schedule, especially opening up the season against Tulsa, Washington. I think an issue that we've got to watch out for in that game when they play later in the year is whether either of these teams wears down toward the end of the game, being that they haven't played 4 quarters.
True or false time? Ryan, Bishop McGinnis recruits. They've won 19 straight games.
False. Every starter off last year's Bishop McGinnis championship team went to a Catholic feeder school, and McGinnis has some disadvantages with that because they can't start working with those kids in junior high like so many other coaches can around here. This year, all but one of the starters came through that same system. So McGinnis is certainly doing this the right way, building from within their program.
Ryan, true or false? Can you eat 65 chicken wings at one sitting?
I can't get anywhere close to 65. Now, the Yukon linemen can. One of them got 65. I think another one got 64. And I'm sure the Putnam City North lineman could come pretty close as well.
Ryan, you won't find a better story this season, or a much better story this season, than Butch Copeland, a mentally handicapped football player at Newkirk.
Yeah, there's certainly been some good stories to come out of this season, but he's pretty far up there. He got a chance to meet Mike Gundy last week at the Cowboy Walk before the Oklahoma State game. He's a big Oklahoma State fan. And last week in the Bishop McGinnis press box where I was sitting in, some of the guys up there were talking about that story and just how great of a thing that is that he gets the chance to play.
Good stuff, Ryan. As always, thanks for your time and knowledge this week. And we'll be right back to talk about the tough week last week for the Edmond schools. Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Angie.
And we're your News OK hosts and hostess.
Shouldn't we just say host? Hostess sounds a little funny.
All right, fine. We're your News OK hosts.
Well, let's tell them what we're hosting.
Lots and lots of video programming on News OK.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
We're changing the rules.
See you soon.
Well, not the best of weeks for the Edmond schools last week. All 3 teams lost, and all 3 teams are now 2-3. Edmond Santa Fe fell to Putnam North 14-7. However, running back Randy Ponder should return this week. Remember, he suffered a knee injury in the season opener. Santa Fe hosts Putnam West on Friday. Edmond Memorial fell to number 6 Midwest City 32-28, a moral victory of sorts. Memorial travels south to play Lawton Ike on Friday. And Broken Arrow defeated Edmond North 38-16 last week. This week, the Huskies host Ponca City on Thursday at Watland Stadium. It's week 6 of the season. Check out the stats of your favorite Edmond player on EdmondFootball.com. Also, watch the video clips from each home. We'll break up the huddle now, thanks to Ryan Aber from the Oklahoman for his time this week. Enjoy the football, everyone.